Who would believe that a 125-pound Cane Corso could become the softest part of a little boy's childhood, standing beside him not as something to fear, but as the steadiest friend he would ever know? From the moment Titan came home, visitors slowed down in the doorway before stepping inside. He had a wide chest, a heavy square head, and eyes so dark they seemed to hold their own weather. Even as a puppy, he took up half the hallway. Strangers looked at him and assumed the worst. They pictured a guard dog, a warning, something that had to be managed. What they never guessed was that behind all that muscle was a dog who flinched at loud noises and fell asleep with his chin resting on somebody's foot. Titan arrived when he was 9 weeks old, small enough to be carried but already growing faster than anyone had planned for. A few months later, the family learned a baby was on the way. Something in the house changed, and Titan noticed before anyone said a word. He started following the mother from room to room. He would settle on the floor beside the couch where she rested and lay his head close to her, breathing slow, keeping watch over a child he had not even met yet. Nobody taught him that. It simply lived in him. The family knew what was coming. A dog that size cannot be figured out later, so they worked on it early. They took him to busy parks. They let him meet children, strollers, bicycles, other dogs. They rewarded calm over excitement every single time. Titan learned faster than they expected because he wanted to. He watched his people the way some dogs watch a door, waiting for the smallest sign of what was needed next. By the time the baby came home from the hospital, Titan already seemed to understand his job. He did not rush the bassinet. He did not push his nose where it did not belong. He walked into the room slowly, sat down at a respectful distance, and waited to be invited closer. When the boy was old enough for a playmat on the living room floor, Titan claimed the space just beyond its edge. He would lie there for an hour with his chin flat against the carpet, eyes half closed, ears still tracking every sound the baby made. Some afternoons he copied him. The day the parents were coaching their son to roll onto his stomach, Titan flopped onto his own back beside the mat and wriggled there, all 4 legs in the air, looking ridiculous and entirely sincere. It was hard to say whether he was playing or teaching. Maybe there was never a difference. The boy grew and the bond grew with him. When he bounced in his seat and shrieked with laughter, Titan thumped his tail against the floorboards and leaned into him, shoulder to shoulder. When he cried, the dog was there before the parents were, standing over him with a worried face, nudging him under the chin until somebody came. They started falling asleep in the same room. They started waking up at the same hour. Whatever language the two of them had built, the adults could only watch it from the outside. By the boy's first birthday, Titan had finished growing and settled at just over 125 pounds. He could rest his head on the kitchen counter without stretching. He could knock a grown man off balance by leaning on him. And still, he moved through the house like something breakable was always underfoot. Because as far as he was concerned, something was. Maybe that patience is what gave the boy his courage. He pulled himself up on furniture, wobbled, dropped, and tried again, and Titan stood a few feet away the whole time, waiting. The first real steps the child ever took were taken toward that dog. For his second birthday, the boy was given a ball pit, a small plastic one meant for someone a quarter of Titan's weight. The dog climbed in anyway. Plastic balls shot across the living room. A few of them gave up entirely under his back legs. Neither of them noticed. That ball pit became their whole world for a summer, a boy buried up to his shoulders in color, a giant dog stretched out beside him with a ball balanced on his paw. Today, they are not just a boy and his dog. They are 2 halves of the same childhood, growing into each other in ways that will still be showing up in that boy when he is 50 years old. Titan has taught this family something they did not know they needed to learn, that strength has almost nothing to do with size. What makes a guardian is patience, and a kind of love that keeps showing up without ever asking to be repaid. If this story reached you, Let it stay with you as a reminder that comfort often arrives in a shape nobody expects, sometimes with a heavy step and a wagging tail. Dogs like Titan show us how to be gentle with the people who depend on us. If this journey meant something to you, please like the video, share it with someone who needs it today, and subscribe to the channel so more people can find stories like this one. Every story here begins with something real. We look for moments that carry weight, we treat them with care, and we bring them to you with the attention they deserve. Thank you for spending this time with us, and we will see you in the next one.